Hey, Base Stealers. I'm talking about Primetime Crisis Live's episode of Steven Universe. We're talking about Hit the Diamond. Now, that was a recent episode. I have to apologize, I'm a couple of days late on this one. I hope to get these out Thursday nights or Fridays, and Saturday at the latest. So I apologize about being so late on this episode. Anyway, what is going on is it picks up exactly where it left off. I'm glad we're kind of doing this for the time being, with the continuing series leading completely into the next episode, which is an interesting pace the way they've been doing it now. And last we left, Steven convinces Lapis Lazuli that, hey, Earth isn't so bad, even Jersey. It's worth staying and, living and maybe starting a new life for yourself. And she decides, yeah, you know what, you're right. And then she realizes, what, I have to live with Peridot? Oh my god, no. And they, of course, had that episode where, they kind of maybe deal with her, and maybe Peridot isn't so bad, or at least, hey, Steven likes her, maybe she isn't the scum of the earth that I think she is. Oh, and then, once Lapis saves Peridot and Steven from that spaceship that had appeared, up pops out rubies, and that's where the episode begins. It had 5 rubies in that little spaceship, and they quickly hide Peridot in the barn, so that Steven comes up with this idea of, instead of killing them or bubbling them or capturing them or whatever they have to do, let's trick them into not thinking she's here by kind of challenge them to the baseball game. And if they win, they can look in the barn. If they lose, they have to go. And that's when Ruby and Sapphire appear. And they decide to use Ruby as sort of an in on the rubies, and kind of trick the 5 rubies into thinking she was with them in this tiny spaceship traveling through the galaxy all the time. Thankfully, these rubies are Bebop and Rocksteady dumb, so they totally accept that idea that, oh, okay, I guess we just miscounted. Which is hilarious. The spaceship is not that big. It's about as big, it's probably could fit into this living room. So that's kind of funny, and it is kind of a believable joke, by the way they get away with it. So what's interesting is this episode really shines as far as, we get to see a lot of Ruby and Sapphire in this, and we get to see them kind of as themselves kind of interact with each other, which is interesting. And last couple times we've seen them, they were kind of more into the action scenes, or last time we saw them at length was when they were feuding and fighting and weren't talking very much. So this time we get to really see, and they're really cute and adorable, can't keep their hands off each other. To the point where it's kind of threatening the whole plan, and it's kind of funny. And it's interesting to see this side of them, and in turn, that side of Garnet, because, she is components of them. So it's interesting to see kind of the goofier, dorkier parts of Garnet. It's really interesting to kind of get a look inside that character, literally, when you take her apart. I mean, and this isn't figuratively, this is literally taking a character apart and looking at her. I gotta say, one of the things I found interesting about this episode was the big reveal that they weren't looking for Peridot. They were looking for Jasper, which leads to a whole bunch of new questions. They even knew that was Peridot when they found out at the end. They didn't care. They gave no crap about the fact that that was Peridot right there. So I don't know if Jasper had maybe done something beforehand going to Earth, or the fact that she was in charge of the mission, therefore she is the one responsible that Yellow Diamond is going to take issue with. Or actually, I don't know, I'm trying to remember, maybe they aren't so much trying to capture her, maybe they're just trying to recover her and maybe get the information they need from her, hey, what is going on Earth right now? Because I'm guessing they're still kind of in the dark about it. They'll continue to be in the dark because Steven tricks the rubies into thinking they're on that Jasper is on Neptune. So they're going to mess around on that planet for a while until they figure out that she's not on Neptune. which is a much bigger planet than Earth, and so it might take them a little bit longer to find that out. So that was kind of a good idea, now that I think about it. I'm not sure if the next episode, Stephen Floats, airs this week, or it's going to take a couple weeks off before starting to air new episodes. But we're going to get into the whole summer of Steven. So what's cool is, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and a bunch of shows we talk about on Primetime Crisis will not be airing until the fall, but we have Steven Universe to talk about, at least for me, anyway. Alright, I'm going to be talking about Preacher next. Expect that video to be posted probably the day after this one, and I should be doing some other stuff later this week. So until then, push the button, Lindsay.